Good morning. It is 6:17 now on this Tuesday. Let's get to KIMT Storm Team 3 meteorologist Sean McAday for a look at your weather every 10 minutes. Sean, you are tracking a really foggy start to this day.
Yeah, the fog very dense. We're seeing visibilities less than half a mile. That means there are times when even it could drop to near zero. I bet there's a couple of patches, so be very careful this morning, especially in those wide open areas, because you don't know, maybe someone's lights went out and you don't want to be crashing into them. Also, there's another risk, is that the fact that it's below freezing. Think about this, all of this fog, this is liquid water droplets. But if temperatures are below freezing, shouldn't that be ice? Well, it wants to be ice, and if you touch it with your car, a cold surface, or like bridges and overpasses, it does turn to ice. And that's why freezing fog is such a risk, because it could make for icy spots on bridges where things are allowed to get cooler faster, or even on your windshield as you're driving. So something to be aware of this morning. We're seeing the fog everywhere. We do have this dense fog advisory through 10 a.m. this morning. That means it's going to be foggy for several hours after the sun rises. Sun rises around, I think it's like 7:24 or something this morning. We'll take a look at that later. Temperatures right now around 30 degrees below freezing, and when you're heading on out the door, even after that sun rises, it's still feeling like it's below freezing. The winds are very light. The fog is still there through about 10 a.m. Then it starts to burn away. So for your bus stop forecast, temperatures around 30 degrees or in the upper 20s. We're seeing this dense fog everywhere. Take it easy. This afternoon, totally different. Sunny skies, and it's feeling like it's a nice spring day. The winds aren't too strong. The clouds, they aren't really there at all. Temps, look, mid-50s this afternoon. I put 54 as the high temperature for our entire area later today. Sunny skies. Winds pick up out of the south a little bit, but it's not that much. You want some wind? You want some even warmer temperatures? You're going to get that tomorrow. The winds out of the south continue all night long, and we start to keep those temperatures above freezing overnight. Maybe even like the lows, maybe even not dropping below 40 degrees if things play out in the more extreme examples. And here's an extreme example. This is a temperature more than 20 degrees above average for this time of year. Highs in the mid-60s tomorrow, nearing 70 degrees in parts of North Iowa. We are bringing some moisture into the equation, so you could see a brief raindrop sometime on St. Patrick's Day. That's Thursday. Brief raindrop. Rain means rainbows. Rainbows means a pot of gold. Isn't that right? 50 degrees with a high temperature on Thursday, a little bit more clouds. But then it still remains warm. I showed this yesterday. I'm going to continue showing this until I don't need to. The jet stream is separating the cold air from the warm air, and at some point, a big storm is likely. How this is shaped on out. It looks like there is one that moves through the area, or I should say the center part of the country, on Friday morning that could briefly bring with it some early snowflakes or raindrops, but there's also a big chance that stays to our south. 7-day forecast with the weekends always in view, things remaining in the 60s. And also, something else I want to quickly touch on is that I just learned this, but I've heard that our area has an untapped potential, pun intended, untapped potential for making maple syrup. And here's what's so interesting, Brooke. This is why I want to bring this up. I guess to make maple syrup, you need to have the low temperature below freezing and the high temperature in like the 40s or low 50s. There's like a really specific weather, like day by day kind of dependent, to get good maple syrup. If anyone at home has a maple tree and you want to make a story, I would love to come to your house. We'll do a little weather segment on it, then I'll bring it back and we'll eat it.
So today is ideal.
Yeah, today's a great day because our temperatures in the morning are below freezing, and we're getting into like the low 50s this afternoon.
Interesting.
Yeah, really weird, right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sean.